Hello adventurers! Bind the Braunschweiger Bugbear, it's time for Roll for Sandwich, the series where I let fate decide my lunch. Let's go! Today we're going to be using these purple Christmas 2025 dice that I got from my advent calendar this year. Let's hope they're lucky. Let's get things started with our roll for bread. 2 freezer ends. From the depths of my freezer, I've retrieved the remains of this loaf of seeded rye bread. I'm a big fan of seeded rye bread for its hearty texture, and I think the caraway seed gives it a nice flavor. It is currently still frozen, but nothing that our toast bread cantrip can't take care of. After a brief stint in the toaster, we've effectively cast Raise Bread and brought our slices of rye back to life. Next up, let's roll for main. 4 imitation crab. Imitation crab, also known as surimi, is a processed seafood product made from pulverized whitefish, egg whites, and seasoning, which is formed to mimic crab meat. As such, I think we'll do our best today to mimic a seafood salad by using our Midwest salad cantrip to mix our crab with mayo. Even though surimi is primarily made of whitefish, it doesn't taste much like fish, which is good for me. While not one of my favorite proteins, imitation crab is fairly innocuous. For all intents and purposes, it is essentially a seafood hot dog. We're going to put a nice layer of our seafood salad down here on our bottom slice of toasted bread, and then we will pray that our hubris in using 2 spells already this sandwich doesn't enrage the dice gods. Let's roll for some cheese. 2 provolone. Provolone is a nice mild option for our cheese today. It's got a nice smokiness that should meld well without being overly assertive. Let's roll up some roughage. 5 lettuce and 10 Chicago relish. Lettuce is a nice fresh addition to this one and will give us a little crunch without introducing many extra variables. The Chicago relish, on the other hand, is a bit sweet, and I would prefer something with a little more acid. Since we still have our counterspell curse hanging over our head, I think this is a good time to try a spell and either end up with a better sandwich or at the very least clear the curse. So I will attempt to cast our level 2 spell Relish Rebuke, which allows me to replace a rolled roughage ingredient with a pickled element of my choice. Unfortunately, because our curse is still in effect, we first have to roll a d6 to see if our spell succeeds or fizzles out. And that's a 2. It looks like our spell has failed, but at least our curse is now lifted. So it looks like after all that, we still will be adding our violently green Chicago-style hot dog relish to this sandwich. I was really hoping for dill pickle to cut through the richness of the mayo and help the inherent sweetness of the surimi, which contains a fair amount of sugar. All right, let's get wild with our wild magic roll. 7 cornflakes. Once again in Season 10, the dice bestow upon us cornflakes of all things. Throughout the life of this show, we've seen the dice get stuck on particular ingredients, but never something like this. So far, though, the addition of cornflakes has been mostly positive. And last but not least, it's the D20 sauce roll. Here we go. 9 ketchup manis. Ketchup manis, also known as sweet soy sauce, is an Indonesian condiment made from soy and palm sugar. It has a thick consistency and sweet molasses-like taste and is very popular in Indonesia. And it is clear to me now that the dice were not happy with our hubris earlier. Let's go ahead and get our sandwich closed up here. Get our toothpicks in to hold it together, and let's get it cut in half. And let's take a look at that cross-section. Very green, but not bad looking. Well, at the end of the day, whether this is a good or bad sandwich, at least we don't have a curse hanging over our head anymore. That is, I guess, until the next time I have to pull one. Let's see how this one tastes. Yeah, it really is much sweeter than I would like. The soy and the mayo both bring in some nice savoriness, but it's not enough. The cornflakes actually add a nice crunch that remind me a bit of tempura batter. We got close to something good here, but what we really needed to round this one out was some acid. Still, I've had much worse sandwiches on this show before, so I'm going to go ahead and give this one a 6.2, and I'm going to call it the Bite of Carquinos. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you again next time on Roll for Sandwich.